on this computer. There we go. Okay, that's his problem. Okay, so we're gonna take this image and darken the foreground a little bit. I guess I'll just duplicate it real quick. So we have a new layer, use camera raw. And basically we'll just go to this gradation tool. Drag it
Oh,
up.
great.
And then you can play with a number of things. Generally, I'll start with exposure.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can kind of darken the shadows a little bit and also bring the highlights down a bit. And then you can expand this out if you want. Just kind of keep an eye on it and get it where you want it. And then you can kind of bring it back up if you want, just a little bit. There, let me turn this overlay off. So now you can see it. So yeah, maybe somewhere around there. So here would be your before and here's your after.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So should you lighten the church up as well, you think? Or
Yeah, you could a bit, you know, and you could do that by taking your brush. That would make it a little smaller. It's kind of. I didn't look to see if I'm on.
I'll confess, I never saw the moon. You might consider just bumping the moon up a little bit more, so it's just a little more visible.
yeah.
So there you go. I'm just bringing the highlights up and maybe
Yeah.
the whites up just a hair. And then, yeah, you could do a new one. Let's see if somewhere there's a new. I worked with
Yeah,
this.
that moon was a surprise.
Yeah, I worked with, I'm just going to change to a different tool and come back. That'll be the way to do that. Maybe we'll just grab this moon. Click on that. And turn this overlay off. Let's just try the highlights first. Yeah, so bring the shadows down just a bit and the highlights up just a little bit and maybe adding some white. Yeah.
I'm just going to change my glasses here. I've got sunglasses on.
Oh yeah, it's probably hard to see. Yeah, so I think that'll click it up just a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so here's the before and here's the after. It looks like I'm a little off on that mask. So what you can do is turn your overlay on and then just click this and move it over a little bit.
Move it a bit.
Yeah, and just turn it off so you see what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. That looks good.
Yeah. So then you hit, if you want to see it before and after, you just hit your backspace key, which is above the return on, at least on a Mac laptop or Mac or workstation. So there you go. If you like what you got, you hit OK. And there you are. So now you can see before and after here.
Yeah, definitely better. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
excellent.
Yeah. So that's what I would do with that. To all who are watching this as a recording, I did neglect to turn on the record in the beginning, so I'm just going to quickly show you a couple of Alan's shots before we got here. This was when he added the ghosting fog 2 on the bottom and did a quite nice job on that. And then this is out of his new Samsung camera with no adjustments.
Cell phone.
Cell phone. Samsung cell phone camera. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So there you go. So you can carry around a pretty good camera in your pocket these days. All right. So this is the one we just worked on, although this is the before image. But
yeah,
you saw that in the Photoshop. when we started the recording. And here we go.
So this is a little log cabin that was close by that church that we just looked at. And I cleaned a little bit up in front of it. There's a kind of picnic bench in front of it. So I removed that and added a little bit more contrast. And then I did take it in, I changed the sky because it was a blue sky. I changed the sky over in Photoshop. And then I took them into Topaz and I had a little bit of this, I forget what it was. It's something like one of the artists' names. I don't remember his name, but anyway, had a topaz kind of painterly type effect on it, and not the full strength one, but just backed off maybe about 70%.
Okay.
And I ended up with this, so I was quite pleased with it.
Nice.
Very nice.
I like
I,
it.
I really like the effect.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
subtle enough, isn't it? Like it's not overly
Yeah.
done, but
Right.
it's
It
a
also-
Van Gogh effect. I think that's what
Van
it is.
Gogh. Okay. Yeah, it almost looks like the logs are starting to melt. Kind of cool. Another thing you might want to try if you want to get a little stronger effect is you can do it in different layers and then just mask where you want it. Like say you wanted to add more to the grass, you could do that
Right.
by just doing another effect there.
Okay.
Or the same effect stronger. Or for that matter, you can just take the effect you have and then just mask out the areas either
Yeah.
fully
Yeah.
or with an opacity somewhere between 0 and 100 to kind of noodle in what you want to bring back in detail, like the door
Right.
or what, or chimney or what have you.
Yeah.
So that's another thing you can try at some point. But nice, I think this works out real well.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, I kind of like the composition of it, you know, with the railings behind it
Mhm.
in the sky. But a
Yeah,
little bit different than just a photograph, right? That's what
yeah,
you're trying to achieve here, and that's to try
Agreed.
and still maintain the photograph and alter it enough just to give it that little bit more
Mhm.
difference, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, Topaz is great for that. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Works pretty well here too.
That's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah, this one's had quite a few different things done to it. It was a long exposure. It was probably 4 or 5 second exposure. This is one of the hikes that we took when we were in Banff, and it's a mountain stream, and it's moving pretty good. And took the photo, as you can see, and I think I took it into Topaz and applied a couple of different effects, and I removed or I kept the bridge the way it was. So I took the layer and excuse me, took the effect right off of that bridge.
So
Then
basically, yeah, you did just what we were talking about in the previous one. Good.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then but the water didn't look very clean. It wasn't very good. So I took it back over to Photoshop and I changed the water into black and white.
Ah.
So I got the kind of the white water by just removing the color from it, basically.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's again, it's another one of these painterly type effects, but it makes it a little bit more interesting, I think. And
Yeah.
so it's This one's fairly heavily manipulated, I guess, other than the bridge.
I wonder if maybe you might want to, let's look a little closer. Maybe see the way this is starting to integrate into the image. Maybe you could have just left a little bit of that on this here, just to keep it in. And then you also have to be careful when you're pulling back in between here.
The background, yeah. I
Watch
I
that.
have to admit, I wasn't very particular about that. I basically just grabbed the whole thing and took it right across the bridge. So
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't.
Well,
Wasn't
next
too
time when you do
meticulous.
that, that's a good way to do that. Just take a big brush, smudge it
Yeah.
out, and then come back with a smaller one and go back and put the details in where you want them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just take that second step and you'll be there.
Okay. Second step. All right.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Jim Bowman. Looks like we got some more painterly effects here.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the harbor right across from me. And it was a kind of a day where a lot of boats were coming in, just lickety split because they were trying to get out of the storm.
Ah,
Oh,
So you see the Coast Guard building on the right, and then the rest of the boats coming in quick. So
mhm. Yeah, I've been there. I think Michigan can change in a heartbeat.
but I liked it because it kind of gave me a sense of the old Dutch masters, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So that's that.
Nice.
it's a very nice effect, and yeah,
Now, did you pull some of the real image back on some of the water in the bottom of the boats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, quite a bit of it. You know, I just
Yeah.
did the boats pretty much. Maybe one or two got kind of moored, but the first ones, the up front, were pretty much natural.
Mhm. And then as you go back, you let them integrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gives you some depth. That's a good idea. Yeah, you can see the effect a lot more. This.
the rigging, yeah,
Mhm.
on the front boat, the rigging against the clouds is beautiful.
Yeah. This one was called. This is a. Finally, I put a preset on it, and it was called Shadows.
Mhm.
So that was that.
All right.
Very nice.
I'll do this next one here.
So this is a little lake that's right by the. It's. I don't know if you've heard of. Sometimes they call it Hemlin Lake, and it's a kind of like a hidden lake, but eventually opens up to the bigger Lake Michigan.
Mhm.
But this was a kind of a quiet, calm day. So just gives you a real,
Yeah, you get a sense of
gives
it.
you a sense of real, like just a peaceful, you know.
yeah. It sure does.
Yeah, let's zoom in a little bit there so we can kind of get an idea of what's going on. Yep. Very nice and tranquil. Yeah, I like some of the warm colors coming through here too.
Yeah.
Just nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
So yeah, this is again another scene, a little bit inland, and kind of just a coloring book look, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, you punched up those saturations quite a bit.
Yeah, let's see here. What did I? For
Yeah.
some reason, I used what?
Go ahead.
Well, I just used, believe it or not, this was a night, a night preset, but you know, under, I think it's abstract, but anyways, it really had a nice feel to it. It really was made you feel the way I saw it.
Mhm.
It wasn't super manipulated to bring out that color.
Yeah. I think I probably dialed back is this green. It's just almost it's almost like my cursor. It's a little too much.
Too much.
Yeah, there and up in the foliage. This looks a little more believable than this does.
Yeah, believe it or not, that green is fairly, it's alfalfa,
Mhm.
and it's grown, and it really is that bright. Maybe
Yeah,
it,
I believe you. When we were coming through the hills of Virginia and West Virginia, there were areas like that, and it just was startling how green they were. But
yeah,
it's just a hair too much.
but yeah,
You know, maybe they're just a little too bright. Maybe I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, just my thought. Anybody else?
sounds good.
Yeah, I would agree that that green in the middle is it's almost neon from
Yeah.
what I'm looking. It's
All right, let's take a look at this next one. Oh, nice effect.
oh, I like
Yeah, so I used a painterly effect on the trees in the background, and then I just pulled the trunks through, and that's what you get.
yeah, I like it.
Very nice. I hear that bright green works because it's a little more geometric.
Yeah.
Yeah. And painterly, so you can get away with it. Nice. Now maybe you can gradiate this just a little bit. I don't know. Just to give a little depth or even a vignette. Let's take a quick peek here. Close my history up here. All right, let's see. Well, we can do it another way since we use camera wrong last time. We'll just get a brush and just make it big. And maybe pick the color somewhere in this dark area here. Okay. And then just airbrush it over. It doesn't look too pretty right now. Maybe I'll even go a little further. Okay, something like that. All right. And then I'm just going to add a mask here. And I'm going to come back maybe at a 30% and just kind of wash it back just a little bit. Maybe even a 10% now. And just kind of just soften that edge up. Okay. And now you can do a number of things with this. You can either change the opacity to get it where you like it. But it looks muddy, so I'd start working with your blend modes here. So that maybe something like a multiply or color burn. No, multiply, I think will work. And then just bring your opacity down on top. Just a little bit there. That's like 25, 30%. And try different modes if you want, just to see what they might do. You don't want to do lightens. You can see what overlay does. Soft and hard light. Actually, this vivid kind of looks interesting.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, so let's go with vivid. it's always good to roll through them, and then you may want to adjust again. You may want to
Well, it
increase.
gives it a little bit more depth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, so now we're up to 33%. I think it works better.
Yeah.
Now, you may want to just do the same thing on the bottom, but maybe just do it with maybe a 10% wash down here of that. Yeah, maybe that's not enough. Maybe let's try 30%. Go back here. Brush. Yeah, there you go. Let's try 0 down here. There you go. Just to bring a little depth in the foreground there. Maybe come up here a little bit. So it's a little bright. And then you can see what's going on here between your before and after.
Hmm.
And then maybe
I gave it a little more depth. Yeah.
yeah, the whole thing. You gotta take it back to 29 or 30. Yeah, there you go.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah, so
That
really,
Yeah, that
definitely
was-
makes a difference. That was good.
yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay. Let's look at this. Ah, that's a beauty.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, again, on the lake and just coming in from out on the big lake. This is a channel that it goes through,
Mhm.
has to go through, and so I take a lot of pictures there.
Yeah.
And so a nice day,
Like,
kind of Mr. Idyllic out there.
There's too many sails to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially single-handed. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, especially.
this is the old-fashioned kind of sailboat
Yeah.
that they used to sail around the 20th century,
Yes.
and they just they were. In fact, that is a handmade boat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And they call these double enders because the stern is pointed as well. So if you get a following sea coming up behind you, you know it's got a chance of knifing around it rather than hitting that transom in the back and coming into the cockpit. Just kind
Right.
Yeah.
when you're out in a rough sea.
Yeah. So I put a slight painterly on it, and there it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice.
Excellent sky.
Yes.
One thing you might want to watch, and I've been guilty of this a lot too, is the relationship of your horizon to what you're shooting. And you got to act pretty quick, especially if it's something moving like this, and either standing up taller or crouching down a bit to get it either up or down, so it's not quite tangent with your
Right.
object. I'm thinking maybe up here might have been a little nicer, but or maybe even a little lower with a little more air here.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So just something to keep an eye on. A lot of times while I'm focusing, I'll go up and down and see where I like it, or I'll shoot a couple different ways so I can choose it later.
Right.
Just a thought.
Well, yeah, and there was over there on the right-hand side, though, there were just some buildings in the shadow that were wrapping around that were hard to manage, but
Mhm.
sometimes you just get what you get.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I'm just bringing it up if you had the chance.
No, really,
Think
no,
about
I appreciate it. No, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of have all kinds of things that you're going on with,
Oh yeah.
dealing with, and
Mhm.
trying to get, because actually the sun is what I was attracted to. It was just, coming in and on that bright sail, it just
Yes.
looked so spectacular, So I
Well,
was
yeah,
taken by the
it does.
sails.
yeah. Well, the interplay with the shadows and
Yeah.
and the stitching and the highlights. Yeah, it's pretty. See all the buttons and everything. It's great.
Okay, that's it.
Well, thank you. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, Jim Murphy. Ah, we got some birds. Nice.
Yeah, not a lot going on here, just a duck in flight. And it's called a gadwall, which is I'd never heard of before, but I just took it into Topaz and cleaned up a little bit of noise and sharpened it a little bit and then simplified it a little bit and then put a vignette on it. So
Nice and sharp, Jim.
yeah,
Yeah. Nice.
it's got a little catch light on the eye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the highlight, subtle highlight on the bill too.
On the bill, yeah.
Yeah. I like the fact that you chose one with his wings down like that rather than the over above the body. It's kind of a different take.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. You know, I've been getting this edge when I've been playing too, and I'm wondering.
Yeah, that's you know, I have found that you can mitigate that a little bit if you go in and with the mask it, and then go in there and with a very small brush and go around there. You can get rid of a lot of that. And I didn't do that in this case, but you can
Yeah.
by
I've been playing
mask.
that too, and sometimes, I mean, logically, you'd think you paint out more sky, but sometimes if you paint it over the image, it blends in too, over the object rather, it'll blend in better too. The other thing I found is if I pull the clarity down a little bit, sometimes that'll limit.
Okay.
Because clarity seems to add kind of a spread of either a white or a gray ghost around objects for whatever reason, especially if there's a lot of contrast between the object and the
Sometimes it's really bad.
yeah. So that's a thought, and then just do a clarity in another layer by itself and just bring
Right.
it where you want it, like in this area and up in here, and maybe back through here, and then you don't have to worry about that edge.
Right.
Yeah. Nice. This is wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
The what he's saying there is you're getting too goddamn close. Get back off. Yeah, he was warning me.
But you were pretty close, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I was pretty close.
Yeah.
I got pretty close.
Well, one thing, Matt,
Fantastic birds, eh?
yeah, it is. That's amazing. I would probably take a little sky out and
Okay.
I would get rid of this. You got this nice hard line going here. Then
Okay.
you got this little blur. I would just lose that and maybe just this little bubble here.
Okay.
And I think you're there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about that lower beak sort of bothered me a little bit. There's it's just
Yeah.
right there where it's a little bit brighter, and I thought maybe I mean that's the way it was, but maybe I should knock it down.
Yeah, make it more like this.
Right.
So you're showing that it's not just the edge. You're seeing inside, but yeah, I agree. Good catch. Definitely would do that.
So that's 600 mil, Jim?
600 mil, yeah.
Yeah, 2:6 of the Sony is just an amazing lens.
206.
Okay. This isn't a bad crop either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I like that one as well.
Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it. All right.
Oh,
This guy's always elusive. He's usually flying in the opposite direction with his butt.
There, yeah, bird butt shots just don't work very well, but
Exactly. You just see the lens and they go, goodbye.
I shot this right after the eagle took off, and he must have had a nest nearby because he'd come up and kind of hover and then go down and come back and hover. Normally, they don't let you get that close and they fly away, but I think he was protecting a nest, so
Okay.
and was allowed me to to get a fairly close-up shot.
Well, there's a beautiful arch to the wings.
I really like the background color as well. It's
Yeah,
really-
that was was just water back there.
Uh-huh.
Works very well.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I don't know if coming in tighter or not, because the background's so nice.
Yeah.
But maybe,
Do a 1-to-1, maybe.
yeah, maybe something like that might be just enough. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go either way. Maybe just darken the corners down a little bit more,
Right.
but subtly, not a
Yeah.
vignette that's in your face or anything. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
These wings are almost 270 degrees there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're really reaching. Just the
I
arch.
think that's because he was maybe because he was kind of in a doing a hover thing. So that's not a typical wing posture. I don't think he was trying to kind of hover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's well past 180, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So I sort of think this shot doesn't work, but I wanted to get some feedback on it. It's an aerial photo out towards the Pacific Ocean down the Columbia River. And so what I did with it basically was I just sharpened that midsection a little bit and softened the rest of it. The fog's coming in off the ocean, but doesn't seem to really have a point of interest to me. I don't know. What do you think?
Well,
I like.
go ahead, Al.
I was just thinking, just when you said that you've got that sun just up in the top right-hand corner, I was just wondering if you added some rays to that, if it would do anything, maybe.
That might be a good suggestion.
But I
Yeah,
like it the way it is.
subtle rays, yeah, that might
Yeah,
work.
the sun was kind of blown out a little bit. I couldn't do too much with it, so I kind of sort of cropped it off, but I left a little chunk of it there.
Mhm. Yeah, first thing I would do is maybe clone some of this up and get rid of that real hot spot. And
Okay.
then selectively put in that sun with rays.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make this small enough so there's a border around it when you're working in Luminar, you can actually
Okay.
put the sun up here somewhere, so it's not even in the shot. And then
Okay.
the rays come in. The
Okay.
other thing that kind of bothered me too is this cloud's a little too prominent, and then
Yes.
there's darkness going here. I would probably, soften this
Okay.
just a little bit so it looks more like this, and then take this cloud, just maybe blur it a bit, and maybe lighten it a hair.
Okay.
And then just this whole band up here, I guess, could soften a little. So it's more
Okay.
like,
Well, yeah, because I went the other way with it. I tried sharpening that whole area because I just felt like it didn't have a point of interest. So.
yeah, I think you went too far.
Okay.
And I'm guessing this is spillover from that.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, this here. So you might not have to worry about that if you go back and redo it.
Okay. No, it was softer than that. I just max sharpened it.
Yeah. I think you just went a little too far.
Okay.
And then you got it too dark.
Right.
Yeah, because your eye just goes for lights and darks, and mine goes here and then along here. Whereas I'd like to just weave along this stuff here.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay. There you go.
I'm open to. I've worked on this, and I felt like I'm not there yet, and so I'm open to suggestions on this. But this is Mount Rainier, and sunset from the airplane, and I just saw that little wind farm there, and I thought, oh, that's kind of an interesting shot. So
Yeah, great ad for the wind turbines.
Don't think I'm a big advocate of the wind turbines, but anyway, it's a stunning shot of the mountain.
I'm wondering, what do you think about, so one of my thoughts was to maybe amp up just the wind turbines and make them a little bit brighter, or are they bright enough for, or would it distract if they were bright?
I do it real subtly. I still keep them in the mist. Yeah, I mean, the hero here is the mountain,
Yes,
but
I agree.
but it's still nice to see those guys dappled through there. But maybe 20% at the most.
Okay. And so one way I tried and it didn't work real well is I was in Lightroom and I took the brush tool
Mhm.
and I went in and, I enlarged it a lot, and then I clicked on it and I made it, what is it called? Auto mask or whatever.
Yes,
And I think I did luminance rather than color, but when you look at them, blow it up, there's a lot of different colors in those windmills. And, it was semi-successful, so I could kind of selectively easily make masks on those windmills and, amp them up a little bit. Is there an easier way to do it?
Boy, that auto mask is hard to beat.
Yeah.
Maybe you play around with a combination of exposure, highlight, and highlight detail, or highlight detail in white. And then sometimes you can fool around with shadow detail, either raising it or lowering it to kind of control your contrast, make them maybe not as contrasty if they're too hot.
Yeah.
That between the white and that and the black and the highlight and shadow sliders and a little bit of exposure, you can probably change them a bit.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think they need a lot. You don't want them to stick out like a sore thumb, but
Exactly. Yeah, they're not going to need much.
this image had a horrible amount of noise. I shot it on a crop sensor and just had a ton of noise.
Yeah.
I ran it through denoise a couple different ways.
Yeah. The other thing you might want, I'm sorry, I was trying to move up and it changed images there. You might want to go into Topaz Studio and see what you can do with those, because it has a good auto mask.
Right.
And just do those on one layer, and then on another layer do whatever you want. Also, their AI clear works pretty well. Sometimes the denoise doesn't quite do what the AI clear does. I've been going back to AI clear quite a bit lately.
Yeah, that works really well.
Yeah, although I'm liking the new denoise where you can put all 4 different choices up and you like. And one of those is clear, and you can actually see what it's doing against the others. And sometimes you can do it 2 stages. Take out some of the noise and don't overdo it in the denoise, and then come back and do the clear after that, or vice versa, depending on how the noise.
Yeah, when I ran this one on standard, right next to the mountain, I was all kinds of noise left in the sky.
Yeah,
and it did not work.
Mm-hmm. Do you always do the automatic, or do you move the sliders?
Well, 95% of the time I do the automatic, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And so I need more denoise, so I'll just take the denoise slider and run it up and try it, and then run it up and try it until, but if you get it too high, it just kind of muddies things up too much. So
Yeah, it makes some really nasty patterns. Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be honest with you, see if you made that like a panorama, just took out these wind turbines, just cropped it right up to above the wind turbines, I think it would look really nice. And then the focus
like
is right
that.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Not quite a panorama, but I was thinking that some crop could help this too. So there's a thought. I don't mind the way you got this noise in here. It almost looks like it's starting to snow or something.
Yeah. It's kind of misty especially on the right side there, and I didn't mind it at all.
No, I don't. I think it's kind of a nice effect, actually, especially up in here too. you know, all on these sides. Yeah, yeah, good point.
Yeah, I like that crop. I think I like that crop a little bit better there. This was already cropped a little bit, but I
Yeah,
could go back and
Yeah.
you know, redo it.
and then according to Ellen, I mean, you could even come to here and clone this guy out, you know, and do
Mhm.
that kind of thing and really get it tight. But I kind of
Yeah.
like it. I kind of like it with the windmills still in there.
I think it adds interest and perspective.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it gets your eye moving around because you start
Yeah.
going through all these crags and then you just kind of carry yourself around. Okay. Well, keep it up, Jim. It's nice.
All right. Thanks.
So blow some of that cool air down here too while you're
Yeah. send you some of the snow. I'll mail some snow down to you.
Okay, Steve, let's see what we got here.
It's just an African white daisy.
Oh, nice.
There was some green in the background, but I took that down a bit
Mhm.
with just the adjustment brush and Lightroom.
Mhm.
And this one was pretty much straight up like that. So
Yeah. These almost look like caviar.
yeah,
Nice. I'm kind of in between leaving all these little imperfections because it's natural, or maybe taking some of them out selectively. That's your call.
yeah, that'd be easy enough to do.
Oh,
I
sure.
kind of like the imperfections, but
Yeah.
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 And I think this one I took up at Tucson Botanical Gardens a while back. So
You know, maybe coming a little tighter like this grapple is.
yeah,
Anybody else?
I hope that's not bothering things too much.
Is that somebody's alarm?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate when they do that and they forget how to shut it off.
and this is
Sorry
a
about that, Alan.
Photoshop. Yeah, this is a Photoshop construction. But all the photographs, everything there is mine. It just took a lot of layering. I think I took it into Topaz and did an HDR effect on it, and then put some texture to it too.
Nice.
But I call this, we've had like, what was it? Oh, God, now it slips my mind. Land of the Lakes lady.
Oh, yeah, and the butter. Yeah.
And this is the, Land of Sand lady.
Land of cremation. That's
Yeah.
yeah. My deceased father-in-law used to say, "Yeah, I love Arizona. Slow cremation." Well, I don't know if it's me, but it almost looks like she's flipping you off with two hands. Just the way the perspective is.
If I was indigenous, that's exactly what I'd be doing.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I think it works. You got the warm and cool going there. And
Yeah.
I love those purple petals.
Yeah, these were just actually all the prickly pears and the saguaro and all the blooms and everything else were taken out of photographs that belonged to me, just extracted and pasted in different layers. So I was having fun.
Yeah, you were.
She
Nice
feels no pain.
What's that, Alan?
She feels no pain.
No.
job. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think I may do a mushroom goddess coming up here, but I'm not sure.
I'll catch you one thing. This guy here is a little out further than this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That could be on
Could be
purpose
pulled
too,
back in.
just for some asymmetry, but if you want to keep it symmetrical, I would just tuck that in a bit. Yeah, all right. Nice.
I think all total, there's a lot of layers that I didn't turn on in this one because it was just getting to be too much, and I hadn't really worked with it that much. So
way too much time on your hands, eh?
yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Oh, remind me when we're done. Well, yeah, right after you. There's a website I want to show you guys pretty quick.
Okay.
I give you some ideas. It's some of the awards from pros around the world.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is just hard and soft and light and dark.
Mhm.
So I guess that's a building shooting up along the side of it into the sky. And just cropped down to give it almost a semaphore flag type
Oh,
effect.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I like these little, I don't know, lightning rods or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all lightning rods. That's
It's just not a graphic.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this would be.
I thought about taking those out, but I thought, no, I think I'll just leave them in the way they are.
Yeah, if anything, I would take this one maybe and put it here just to, you know.
Yeah.
Right, good, symmetrical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, I think they're better. I think they're better in. I like them better in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I pushed the shadows down a bit and the blacks down a bit, but probably lightened up the sky just a teensy bit, but that was about all.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, because I think I'd keep this graphic and not have any detail in here.
Yeah. There's a little bit down here in the lower right-hand corner to kind of give you an idea, and then up along the edge in places you can see a bit coming through.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
So you know it's something that exists rather than just a piece just slugged in on the layer.
Yeah. So again, just playing around. So, and this was my
BLM statement.
yeah, in celebration of Juneteenth, right?
There you go.
But I remember these from my childhood, not on the Greyhounds, but in other places that I'd gone, and
Uh-huh.
so these were actually. This was an exhibit done in a museum. The artist took the eyes and pasted those into the sign itself to give you an idea that there were real people behind this and not just
Okay.
yeah.
How long ago was that?
I took this picture a couple years ago, but if you're asking me how long ago Greyhound ran these signs, it wasn't
Yeah.
that long, because I mean, when I was a kid, let's say it was probably 60 years ago, 50 years ago. So
Yeah, there used to be a depot in downtown Chicago, and they had a big neon one like that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
they were not shy about it at all.
Yeah. But yeah, they had these signs in the 50s, I remember, in
Yeah.
certain places, especially in the South. But yeah, there are still a few in the rural Illinois areas.
Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Okay.
And then I just have my surfer girl. And this was Tybee Island, Savannah,
Ah,
Georgia. What amazes me about the people that surf there, they usually surf in the inlet to the river. And that's where you get a lot of the wave action building up. But that river is loaded with bull shark.
oh, great.
And you'll see them. I mean, you can stand on the shore and watch the fins run through there at times.
Yeah, yeah, bull shark are scary.
Yeah, they can be very aggressive.
Yeah, I had an encounter with one that came over us, and we had hunkered down between two big rock bomies, and it came with the fins down, like it
Yeah,
very
yeah,
terrible.
you can tell when they strap those fins down and hunch up, they're a bit PO'd. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're big too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they tolerate brackish water and even fresh water, because in Lake Nicaragua, there in Central America, they have bull shark that live in fresh water.
Wow. Interesting.
but she kind of attracted me. Just I think I've got several pictures of her, but to surf in those waters, you really want to be, you know, I guess you have to be dedicated.
I guess.
Uh, And the only thing I really did to this picture, she had a tether, a long white strand tether that went from her ankle to the back of the board.
Right.
So I just extracted that.
Mhm.
And I think I took that into Topaz and gave it a hard HDR effect over there.
Oh, that's how you got her skin dark then.
Yeah.
I wonder if taking maybe a little of the top off. Just not that much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that helps.
that balances that a bit. Yeah.
Okay. Show you that website before I forget real quick. And I think this is it. Yeah. There's an annual and also an online book for professionals called One Island.
Island.
Yeah, oneisland.com is the website. Let me just put in the chat real quick. If I can get to the chat, let me see here.
Yeah, I was just reading an article on when does photography, when does it cross the line? When is a photograph no longer a photograph? And
That's a tough.
sometimes I think it's just because people have their own personal ideas of what, you know, purism is, and, you know, they want it all out of camera, and sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. So
Yeah.
depends on what your intent is when you do this.
Yeah, well, and especially with raw, because it's pretty flat if you don't do anything to it. For the most part. And
I love this.
even when we used to use film, we manipulate it. We either push it or pull it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know, and
I would bet you, I
badge.
would bet you any money. Yeah, I would bet you any money. All photographs are manipulated to some degree.
Sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
As soon as you try and edit anything, then yeah, obviously something like this is
Yeah.
a little bit different. But most of these photographs, I think, are all edited. So,
Well, I mean, even the software in your camera is doing some kind of edit work
That's
because of the way it's
Yeah,
set up.
yeah. I mean, when it's converting to a JPEG, it's editing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it gets a little dodgy. Anyway, there's these top 10 contests they put out every year, and
Wow.
there's some interesting things
Yeah.
that you can see. Go through these.
there's some imagination, just
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You know, and then you got the landscape guys and
Sure.
everything else. But if you get to one, like this is pretty amazing.
Good God.
Whoa.
Imagine riding that.
I can't imagine trying to jump in at the bottom of the wave to save myself either.
Yeah, really. Really. You know, and then more stylized like this, or this. But on any
Oh,
of these,
I love it. Yeah.
on any of these, if you go down to what they're calling winning image, is that pretty much takes you to that particular artist's site. So that's this Alex Schoenberg, and then you can click through them and take a look at them. The odd thing though is when you hit your back button the first time, it doesn't do anything. You got to hit it twice.
Okay.
For whatever reason, there's a flaw in there. So just know that. But there's some beautiful stuff in there.
James,
This one's pretty stellar.
Jim Bowman, that was pretty much your shot up there.
Which one?
This one.
Yeah, this one. No.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of.
This guy. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then you can just arrow through them.
I get just like him, except awards. Yeah, that's kind of gruesome.
Okay.
Nice website.
So-
Love it.
One Eye Land.
Yeah. One
So you're going to send us the link, or
Yeah, it's in the chat box now, but yeah, I could probably mail it out to you as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
There's some nice stuff.
Power, eh? Power.
Yeah. I think this one looks kind of interesting. Very nice. So anyway, proves that if you just go to the home page, you can pretty much click any of these. They got a black and white one, and wedding, and wildlife, and pretty much everything. You just kind of pick what you're interested in. I just clicked on the fine art for this one, but
Yeah.
That's a cool photo.
yeah. So there's that. Yeah, let's see. I did pull out a few things this week. Got a quick selection here. Actually, yeah, I was getting stuff ready for Windows class tomorrow too, so I'm gonna knock those out real quick. All right, here we go. I can show you some of the bird stuff too for Mike's class on Wednesday. But yeah, this is in a park down near the border called Big Bend. It's in southwestern Texas.
Oh yeah, I wanted to go there.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place. Been there a few times, but there's a canyon that the Rio Grande cut through there that you have to walk up over the top of these cliffs, and then you get down to the base level. And as you come through here, the water is just beyond those trees, and it's just like a narrow, almost like a slide canyon, but wider. It's real pretty. This was an HDR image because I was having trouble holding the highlights and the shadows. I'm probably going to take it a little further now that I've got a decent balance to it. Maybe do some gradation or some selective darkening and lightening in the edges. Any other suggestions?
Oh, beautiful image.
But rocks are awesome.
Yeah, this was in Baton Rouge. I can't remember if I showed this or not last time. But
I don't think so. I don't remember this one, Sandy.
yeah, this is just up on the river. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
I left a little of the bridge out on the left just to get the feel of the river and so forth.
Excellent.
Yeah, and this is actually cut out here. You can
Yeah.
see, yeah. These two are cut out. You can see the sky up here. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I did black and white of this one. Maybe I could find it. I think brings it up a little more. Yeah, this was just one of the tours in one of the slave quarters, and I thought it was kind of interesting. Just the way the texture
It is.
working.
I like the red on the string as well. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, those old keys are fun too. And these are those pole pines down in Florida and Georgia.
Yeah. Where they have vast plantations of these things all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
All the big paper manufacturers have tracks of these.
Okay. We hadn't seen them before, and they're pretty interesting. And a little snapper guy.
Uh-oh.
I love the eye.
Yeah, the eyes are amazing.
Yeah.
probably gradient the edges of this a little bit, just to bring the focus in. Haven't done that yet.
It's a really good shot.
Oh, thanks. And this is one of those, I saw the guy coming and I caught him just before he went under the bridge over Virginia near Jamestown.
Yeah.
They ran up the bridge so I could get over him. Just an iPhone shot.
He's moving, eh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and if you guys want, I'll just share a couple quick bird shots. I'm gonna probably submit to Michael's class. I really, really liking the vignette or the bokeh I'm getting on that
Yeah.
100 Canon. It's pretty good.
Creamy. Yeah.
Yeah. And these guys I've never seen before. They're called skimmers.
Yep.
This is in South Carolina. It almost looks like the jaws disjointed or something. That's the way they are. They're really open.
But I tell you, if they run into a rock, they're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is low tide. You can kind of see the bottom coming up here. It's pretty low water. Maybe there's 6 inches there. Maybe a foot. I don't know. And just a straight down shot. I don't know what kind of duck this is, but got a nice purple crown on it.
Yeah.
I really like
I
the
love-
bubbles around his body down in here.
Yeah.
Look like mercury.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting shot.
Yeah, I gotta
A
get.
real eye catcher.
Thanks. I gotta get busy and clean up some of this debris. I don't think I'm gonna do it all, but some of it needs to get out of there. And maybe crop the right side a little bit. Any other thoughts?
Oh, I've never seen an image like this on a duck before.
No.
Yeah.
It's not too hard to get a chance to shoot down on them.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what kind of crane. This might be a tricolor. I'm not sure. It was just off in the rocks.
I would have guessed it was a blue heron, but
Yeah, it might just be a blue heron. I'm not sure. Blue or tricolor.
how big was he?
He was pretty good size. I'd probably say maybe with the legs and everything, maybe he's about 2.5, 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
Pretty close to him, man, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, this guy was in an estuary. I think
That's definitely a blue.
There's a blue there for sure.
this was, golden hour. We're out on a little jetty and we're able to get out in this
Yeah.
kind of sanctuary area.
No, that's gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of an old Japanese painting or something. And this was, I'm not sure
that's-
what kind of owl, but this was at the aviary and this was on the guy's glove. He was walking around the halls with it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Look at these eyes.
Yeah.
And the feathers, beautiful.
Yeah. It did darken down this area here, but I think it probably could go a little more. Maybe towards this a little more. I don't know. Not sure what this guy is. It's a little soft. I'm going to see if maybe Topaz can pull some of this up in here. This I'm going to leave out, but maybe I can pull some of that up. I don't know. I'm going to play with that and see what happens. The feathers are amazing on some of these birds, though.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy, almost like a handlebar mustache. Just
Yeah.
sticks out the side. Yeah, I haven't done much on this one yet. I think I've got some cropping and some darkening and lighting there too. Yeah, I have no idea what kind of.
That looks like a Muscovy duck.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I figured.
People hate these things or love these things.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a cross between a duck and a turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was in Lake Charles. There's like a little park in the middle of town.
Well, they're almost as bad as Canadian geese for the mess they leave.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, there were a lot of them around this park.
Yeah.
And there's a water feature in the park, so they were all over there too. But this guy was just kind of sitting out on the lawn.
I think it might be breeding for them right now, by the looks of it.
That's why he's like.
Might be a breeding mask he's got on, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just had no clue what that was. And just some gulls. They look quite a bit different than the gulls we used to get up in the Great Lakes.
Really crisp, beautiful shot.
Thanks. Yeah, kind of like this one. They look like they were just dancing or chatting or something. Yep, I think that's it.
Nice one. Yep.
Good shots, good shots, sir.
Thanks. Nice. See if I can find this one real quick in the black and white. Oh, yeah, here it is. Yeah, I think it works a little better in black and white.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That is otherworldly.
Thanks. I don't know if any of you guys, well, Steve, I know you'll be in the black and white tomorrow. I don't know if any of you other
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Okay. Oops. I guess it's, it just died. All right. You guys still here?
Yeah,
Still here.
we're here.
All right. Good.
I'm melting here, though.
What's that, Ellen?
I'm melting.
You're melting. I'll bet you are. Yeah. Yeah. Turn on the AC and hope your wife
I've got
isn't
the
too
air
long.
conditioning, so.
Okay. Well, thanks again, everybody, for coming. And
Yeah.
let me stop
Good.
sharing here real quick.
Good session.
Yeah, this was. See if I can find my screen. Oh, here we are.
What amazes me is the variety of images that comes through every week. It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, without a doubt. All right, let me stop.